Hello, Lynn Watts here, and today I want to talk about the word or the character trait generosity. And I think this is something really important. It comes up a lot during the holiday season, but I think it's something that is really important for us to teach and to emphasize all throughout the school year, all throughout the calendar year for that matter. And there's a lot of reasons why that is such an important characteristic to develop in children and then ultimately, of course, in adults. So, what is generosity? Let's kind of center on a definition to start with. It's the ability and the willingness to give. And here's the really important part. I think many times we think about generosity as giving things or money, giving financially, but it's really the ability and willingness to give time, energy, resources, which could include, of course, things and money, or kindness to others. And here's another important part of the definition: without expecting anything in return. All right. So, very important to hit on all those different parts of the definition of generosity. And I think that's an important part of any lesson that you're going to teach. So, what does it mean to be generous? Well, it means sharing with others in need. And again, a lot of time we think about physical need, whether that's during the holiday season, perhaps sharing, having a toy drive, a food drive, coat drive, all these kinds of things. So sharing with people who have a need. It also, though, means offering time and energy and resources without expecting anything back. It means demonstrating kindness through actions and words. So, generosity can be simply offering support, generous support in terms of time and energy to someone. And it means looking for opportunities to help make others' lives better. So, generosity, of course, is very much other focused and not me focused. So, when children learn to be generous, they also discover the value of compassion, of gratitude, and it develops great community. So, it has an overall benefit for the school as a whole. So, some of the benefits of generosity for students are: it definitely improves relationships, helps us to focus on other people and what their needs are, and then to help them through that. It increases empathy, certainly something that we are very much focused on today. So, it helps children understand the needs, the feelings of others. It can develop positive self-esteem because certainly as children and us as adults, all of us feel proud, we feel capable when we know that we can make a difference in someone else's life, a positive difference. And then finally, it creates stronger classroom communities. It reduces conflict and increases cooperation. There are three myths about generosity that I want to mention here. One is that generosity has to be spontaneous, that you have to have a certain feeling and it has to happen. And, maybe spontaneously you think, oh, I'm going to do this for the other person. That's wonderful when it happens, but planned acts of generosity or actions are equally meaningful and they can certainly have a huge impact. So I think it doesn't hurt to establish some planned activities that increase generosity. The second myth, which I think I've already indirectly mentioned, is you don't have to be well off financially to be generous. In fact, I think if you are in a school where there's a lower socioeconomic group, helping those students to see how they can give to others can be a huge benefit to them in terms of self-esteem and self-worth, so that they're not always feeling they're the ones on the taking side, getting toys for their holiday or clothing or food, all these kind of things, but rather that they have something to give, and that might be their time and energy, or their support and understanding for others. And then, so finally, and this one again is related, generosity doesn't just benefit the receiver, it very much benefits the person who is the giver. And that can help in many, many different ways. So there are lots of activities that I think you can plan in school, and some of them are not the very obvious ones where you have a whole school drive to do something, but some classroom lessons and activities you can do. And I'm going to refer you to the blog post on Wyatt the Wonder Dog called Growing Generous Hearts, how elementary counselors can teach giving and kindness. And in that blog post, you can find some specific ideas as far as lessons that you could do or incorporate into your classroom lessons. So as always, I want to thank you for listening, and thank you for all that you do to benefit the lives of young children.